It's DEGA. 2.5 miles, easily 200 plus every lap once you get up to speed in the draft. And we've seen a great show last night in the Xfinity Series race. Lots of racing, 3 and 4 wide. Not too many big wrecks, which you're accustomed to seeing at DEGA, but you love to see that out of a league, is when they can sit there and go 3 and 4 wide and not wreck. There's going to be a lot to expect tonight. You got the playoffs, second race of the first round. The only driver locked in is the 53 here, my good buddy Jade Bull, after that win that you got last week at Watkins Glen.
Man, it was good.
What's your strategy going into tonight's race? You already have a win, so.
Kyle Larson's crew chief said it the best on Sunday. You can't turn off championship mode for 2 weeks and turn it right back on. So obviously we're gonna go for as many playoff points as we can get these next 2 weeks, and maybe come out with another win. But we're gonna go aggressive. We're going from the window to the wall. So anything in between is fair game. So we're gonna be trying it outside a lot tonight, and if anybody wants to go, this 53 is definitely raring to go.
Don't you wreck my car! No. No, guys. I mean, yes, folks. I finally, after I've been on leave of absence, here, I've come to finally to get back to the booth. I was excited. Jade, I'm thinking, maybe I shouldn't be here because you won last week and I wasn't here. Maybe if I'm not here tonight, we win tonight.
Well, listen, I might send you a text halfway through the race if I'm doing bad. Leave.
Yeah, it's a very good possibility. But no, folks, tonight, I mean, it is as Sigma said, we're second race in the playoffs, lots at risk. We have some great drivers in here tonight. Obviously, you just heard from Jade. Obviously, now I'm actually going to jump down through and talk to Boz, Alex Van Avery. How you doing, buddy? You here, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm ready to go.
You ready? You ready? You called the race last night. That race was excellent. I mean, pretty much almost caution free all the way through. What do you expect of tonight, man?
Same thing. Caution free. Strategies. Gonna be a lot of strategies, a lot of cat and mouse going on. When to pit, when not to pit. I just hope I'm up there by the end of the race.
So would you think, Bub, at this point that the first 2 stages you'd want to slide yourself into a spot? If you can run the high side, run the high side. If you can run the low. Find someone you can work with and just ride it out until the very end of this race, or are you just gonna go for the gusto right from the lead?
I'm gonna go right from the get-go because I haven't seen where I'm at in points. I'm sure it'll be said before we leave the booth chat, but I'm just gonna go with saying if I'm at the tail end of the points chase and see where I end up by the end of this thing.
+9.
I'm +9.
Ooh, and right below you, and I'm seeing the chat right below you is Trump Train of Jacob. He's battling out, trying to stay up above that cut line too. How you doing, buddy?
He's in the booth.
Oh, you're in the booth with us tonight. Oh man, that's gonna be so awesome.
Wrong points, Mike. Wrong points.
Well, no. I mean, yeah. Thanks, buddy. See, I love this family because they have no problem checking me, and I enjoy it every time they do it. Oh, right. Well, I didn't know he was in the booth.
The wrong points too.
All right. Well, that's good. See, well, thank you. See, it can happen, can't it, guys? But no, so who else we have in here that's in tonight's race? Now that I realize that your brother is going to be actually up in the booth with us. So who else is up? Do we have here?
If I was before you had your little talk there, I was going to go into it and talk about the points and then who we got going on in this party tonight. Right now, it's like I said, it's a run of 12. 4 people get eliminated. So Alex, who was going to be the next person I talked to anyway, so it was good that you went to him. He's only +9 above the cut line. Yeah, +9. So he's in a spot that he's one position above the bubble. He's one position above that, the bottom spot to move on. But if somebody wins behind him, that puts him on the bubble if he cannot, motor get his points built up nice and good tonight. So this can be interesting because the playoff cut line right now is Anthony Camarada, the driver of the 95 Toyota. He has +7 on Charlie Owen, the driver of the 18. And then right below that, another 9 points is Kano. He drives the 43 car for Wolfpack. And then it's really below that, it's kind of two guys in a must-win. You got to secure the pokes and Matt Martin. But it's going to be exciting because anybody can win. It's Talladega. Matt Martin could come out here and win tonight's race, and guess what ends up happening? He's going to the next round. So anything really matters right now. And I think for those guys at the bottom, it's win, and I think for the guys at the top, it's get as many points as you can get.
Yeah, it is basically it's almost like the vice versa situation from the other side on the Busch Series. Some points, you know, if this is such a wild card race that anybody can pull off a win and anybody can go ahead and upset these points tremendously. So it's all going to be about, you know, where everybody's going to fan out come the first two stages. Third stages we expect to be a little bit more aggressive, a little more side drafting than this and that. You know, but these guys know that there is a lot at stake here because the last thing you want to do is be below that cut line and headed into Pocono next week, and it could be really hectic. You could definitely be pulling your hair out real quick, and some of us don't have that much.
So, actually, I was smart enough tonight to write down who we do have in here. Also driving tonight, we have Keith, the driver of the one call for Fatal Motorsports. Keith, you there?
Yep, loud and clear.
So, as I was talking about the points, I didn't really go over like who's in and who's out type stuff. But you're in the playoffs right now. You're in the 4th seed, or I don't know why, 4th position. So you have a nice little gap of about 19 points to the cut line. Is your job just to, you're going to be aggressive in these stages, try to get the top stage points, or do you want to just be consistent and then go for the win at the end?
I just want to try to be conservative for the race, and then if I have an opportunity, I'm going to go for it. If not, just try to get out of Talladega with the best finish I can and just get the most points I can without screwing myself.
That's a good way to look at it. He's above the cut line, so he's in a good spot. So I mean, that's a good way to look at it. I like that. The guy
oh, go ahead, buddy.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say. I mean, he knows where he sits. He knows what he's got to do. He knows that he is 19 points above the cut line, and he knows that he's gonna have to be yet aggressive but yet conservative. And it's definitely not easy here at Talladega because you definitely got to keep the floor most of the way because of the way the draft works and everything else. But he's definitely got the mentality and on that aspect, that you're gonna have to. Being where you're at, you're going to have to get your points, but yet save your car and do what you got to do to be able to make that, know that going into the next round is the cutoff round, and you don't want to be too far behind at that point.
And that brings up my next point. This is the driver that I'm actually most excited to talk to tonight that we have in here. It's Jared Weiss in the 39 car. He has a +40 lead on that cut line. So is his job just to stay out of trouble and go? Is he just going to stay out of trouble and go for the win? Or is he going to try to be up there with his teammates and try to help, Kano? He's he drives the 43 for Jordy's team. He's below the cut line right now. If he gets a win, he's in. If he gets good points, he's in. So that brings me to you, Jordy. What is your view in tonight's race with the great cushion that you have of 40 points?
I still want to go for the win. You always want to guarantee yourself in, and still anything can happen yet. There's still 2 races left in this round of the playoffs. But if one of my drivers is ahead of me towards the end of the race, I'm definitely going to help him any way I can.
I mean, that's another good way to look at it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there is no way that in his position is that if he wins, it changes things around. He's able to get in. So I mean, it's that cooperation kind of deal. But yeah, I mean, is your patience good enough that-
Cooperation. You know,
that's it, man.
You want to talk about
word.
cooperation right now? There's gonna be pit stops if we don't get cautions. If there's any time in this race that you need to be cooperating with people and like talking and stuff, it is those pit stops, because you don't want to pit alone, but you don't want to pit with too many cars to where you're wrecking each other coming into the pits. Because not only could it mess up your race by speeding or going backwards in the pits and getting a penalty, it's gonna mess up another person's race and another person. And then you're gonna have enemies. And I know it's not gonna matter to end the round of 12, but next round, if you got enemies, there's a few tracks in there that you don't want enemies at. You got Bristol in Martinsville in the round of 8.
Yeah, no.
So I don't think enemies is what you want, especially to make them at Talladega where you should be making friends.
Well, even on that point, I mean, even with that point coming in, I mean, it just comes to a point where, you know, with Jardy, he's just gonna have he's got that point cushion. We all know that. You know, can he help his teammate, or does he have to go? Because I mean, especially at Talladega, and we all know this. I mean, and this was something that you just brought up too, that kind of touched on me: the speeding. I mean, if you tap someone just wrong going into the pits because you're drafting so hard together, you could easily push that person. I mean, my team went through it last night. You know, with the speeding penalties at the very end of it, and took them completely out of it. I mean, you got to be very cautious about all that, and you got to give that little bit of room, especially coming down pit road.
It is 8:21, so I am gonna pull the drivers out over in the Discord.
That's why I was trying to hurry this up a little bit and get through people's questions.
Go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Good.
It's been a while.
One thing I do want to say about you saying about making enemies during the playoffs, I mean, just look at the real life case here with Harvick and Elliott. Harvick and Elliott had enemies in themselves, and Harvick blew it for his chance in the playoffs.
Yeah, you don't have to say. You don't want to. You don't want to be the. You don't want to be in a Harvick, Kansas situation, in a Logano, Kansas situation at Martinsville, where the guy's your enemy from 2 weeks ago, and he's just gonna wreck you and ruin your chance of winning that race and going to the championship. So
yeah, that brought flashbacks of the Kenseth and Logano issue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like Martinsville's that cut-up race for the round to take you to the championship. If you make an enemy now, they might wait 3 weeks to just do it. I mean, it happened in real life 6 years ago, so it can happen anytime. We also, real quick. All
right, so real quick, we got Steve in here too.
That's what I go to.
All right, right on. See, we're getting. See, I haven't been gone that long. I just wanted to touch base with Steve. How you doing, Steve? Did you call?
I'm doing well. Doing good.
So now we'll just real quick, since all four of us are in here. What's your picks for tonight, buddy?
Oh man, Mike, I'm not sure. And there's just so many possible drivers that can hit it. A strong pick for me always is Jarrett Reese, Jardy. That's who I'm gonna pull for tonight.
He's coming to your team next year, so I guess you should probably cheer for him a little bit more. Gotta have that.
Go ahead, buddy. What's your pick?
My pick.
Yep.
I'm going with the upset here. He's up in a good spot in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. Let me pull up my picture real quick. Yeah, he's in 9 points above the client. So he's right now. He's moving on. I'm going with Alex. I'm going with Alex Bars.
Oh, you took it. You took it because I was looking at that.
I picked him at Watkins Glen with my setup, and just little mistakes cost him, and it was costing me too. So I hope he doesn't have my luck that I had last night too. But
right.
What's your pick,
Jacob? Oh, actually, I was going to touch on Jacob real quick. What's up? What's your pick, buddy? What do you think he's going to look at tonight?
Oh, I'm going with Jardy.
Oh, he's going to tag on with Steve and go with Jardy. And
I
actually,
already picked him. You got to pick someone else.
Yeah, you gotta pick someone else. It's like NASCAR 20 to go.
Yeah.
And your brother's out too.
I'll go with Keith.
That's not a bad pick.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. And actually, I'm actually going to go with Jade.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Jade because I mean, well, the 53. You know, I mean, I've had a great you know affiliation with that, so that's what we're gonna do. And I believe we just got an invite on that point,
Solid
guys.
picks
So
for everybody.
I don't think they're
there we
ready.
go.
I don't think they're ready for
gonna-
us.
Yeah, they're not ready.
Quite yet? Okay, just let us know.
I'm gonna
Except this
jump
when you're
out
ready.
tonight so that Alex doesn't run into lag issues with his race.
All right.
So I will talk to you all after the race.
We'll talk
Alright,
to you in
sounds
the
good, buddy.
post-race show.
All right.
Have a good
You
one,
got it,
Steve.
buddy. We'll look forward to seeing you.
Yep. Good luck, everyone.
So at that point, you know, folks, we're just waiting for our invites for qualifying this and that. First things first, I want to, thank all the sponsors that we have in this league. That includes Steve Rogers, Rogers Racing Engines. That includes some of the others that are affiliated with myself that are, that are part of this.
Okay,
That includes,
I'm in the
Racing.
Discord waiting for them to tell us we're good to go. So
Thank you, buddy. Morgan Vans.
My name is Secure the Prince.
You know, guys, we appreciate all you. I appreciate all you guys for following my team and actually, kind of following this league a little bit off in the distance. This is going to be a great race. Second race, playoff race. I'm ready. You ready, Acceptance? You ready, Jacob?
Oh, I'm ready.
This is going to be good. Actually, this is the first time, buddy. I'm actually kind of excited about this. The first time me and you've been in the booth together. This is going to be great.
Yeah, I know. This is gonna be awesome. This is my first time ever being in a booth.
I know, no, dude. I'm telling you, what you see here, buddy, is it's a great view of. I like doing this. Unfortunately, it's for what we do in the Xfinity series. We don't get to see the next race we race to, but we get to see this one here, and it kind of you see a lot of different dynamics and a lot of different way things run. It's kind of cool to see it from this angle. That's for sure. Well, that folks, we have myself, Pro Space Car Mike Senior. We have Jacob Van Evie, Pro Trump Train. We also have Acceptance, which I cannot still remember your name, buddy. I will get that. And we are here waiting for these guys to get this thing fired off, and we're headed for Talladega for, I believe it's 94 laps. Am I correct?
Yes.
All right, so 94 laps, Talladega. Pit stop's going to come into play. Teamwork's going to come into play, and we're going to see how this all bad boy shakes out in the end of this. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. It's been a while since I've been in a booth. I'm kind of really excited to be here with everybody and be back in the game again now that I can actually see. That's sure. Well, folks, we were just, as I said, we're just waiting for these guys to get locked in and get everything all situated. Anything else, Jake? Except this, what do you got to say, buddy? Talk to us.
I wonder how good the race is gonna be. Hopefully as good as last night's. Hopefully it goes about 4 or 3 wide.
Oh no, last night's race. I mean, if these guys, they've got 100 plus more horsepower than we did last
we can
night.
join.
Oh damn! I forgot to send Steven.
We had we had a lot more They have a lot more horsepower than we do. The draft is going to be totally different. Everything's going to be so different compared to what we dealt with last night.
Oh yeah. I was practicing with Boz earlier and kind of helped him out what to do and everything. So hopefully it plays off for you. Acceptness.
What?
Hopefully it plays off how well he does.
What are you talking about?
Boz.
Oh. I'm still confused, but okay. And we done at the perfect time, so we're gonna get to watch this whole qualifying session. That's some new paint scheme. I've never seen that car for Bubba. What is this thing? I like it though. I've never seen it in the game, but I like it. So we'll see what happens if these guys get lined up or if they're gonna go side by side this whole time. I doubt it. At least get one good lap in and then start racing like the final couple, but...
Well, yeah, you think about it, it's a short qualifying run. I mean, it's going to take time to get that car dialed up Get those RPMs up. Get that thing cranking about 195. Get that thing in the draft. You're looking at a little over 200.
Well, they're up.
I mean,
they're up now. This right now is when you're at your full speed.
I'm actually jumping in now. I'm just kind of lagging behind everything.
Yeah. Right now, I'm going through the tribal. This is when you get your
single file.
This is when you get your most out of your lap. You're gonna get the most out of this car. There's only one times wear, so you're not gonna have wear, but it definitely does matter. And with the fuel and stuff too, with the lighter car, sometimes at the end of the run after you waste a couple laps, you'll get your fastest lap. So we'll see what happens between these guys, and when they hit their fastest. I mean, right now they're probably not as though you get some side draft going on the outside.
Yeah.
A few people hopping out of line here. Really, I like this. I like the spot that the 2 and the 12 were in. Well, not the 2 anymore. But not the 12 anymore.
Looks like that was. I'm sorry, but I didn't mean to cut you off. But it looks like that low line's actually got themselves dialed in. They know that that's the fastest way to track. You got the top 5, 6, 7, 8 all under a blanket. Looks like Jade finally he got his slap, so he's going to step out a little bit. He's going to let Alex.
Well, he's going to be stepping out because he was leading them, so he needs to get a good lap in the draft.
Well, which he already got the great. He was being pushed, so I mean, you get a great lap being pushed.
It's not going to be as good as these guys in the draft, though. You gotta
probably not. No, I agree.
So
probably
that's
not.
you always
drop down now.
You always want to lead the pack for about a lap or two if you're the leader. Yeah. You don't want to be in, a hole, as I like to say,
right.
And you kind of let these other guys get their laps, and now that they're going to be led by someone else, he dropped into a perfect hole, by the way, to get a great lap here if he wants it. The one car, too. I love where the one car is.
Oh, looks like somebody. Looks like 48. He just got. Oh, that was it. Must have been in the qualifying. That was a big push to the outside.
I think that he was trying to just get out of the way and go to the back and try to get another good lap because they're still going.
Okay.
I think
I was looking at that. That was kind of like really spooked me because I'm like, he just all of a sudden just shot right to the right. Ooh.
Nine a little swervy.
I think that was a lag. That was a track lag.
Yeah, we went through that last night too with a little bit of every once in a while we end up with that track spike. And that was kind of very annoying at times sometimes. But right now, it looks like these guys are just getting themselves, trying to get themselves locked, get themselves the best lap that they can get. Some will stay out of the way after they get a good lap. Try to let some of these other guys drop down in. As I said, we've seen it, last night where, we drop a little bit, a couple, 4 or 5 cars back in the draft. You can actually get a real good run and a real good push and catch some real good speed.
Look at this, 3 wide in qualifying.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking of that too, bro. I'm like, that's like, these guys aren't holding anything back right now.
I'm gonna guess this is probably the last lap because they're 3 wide for 3 rows.
Yeah, you got the 20, the 95, look like that's 1 or 2. The 53 worked its way back up. You got the 1, looks like he got a little squirrely. You got the 48, he's gonna stay down low. You got the 18 on the outside. Looks like these guys are gonna come down to this final lap here and finish off this qualifying. Looks like these guys, they see these guys are now starting to get themselves single file running that low line, and that's we all know that, especially on the Heat 5, this aspect here is that's the fastest way around the track.
One car hit the apron, he's gonna slide up the track.
Yeah, this is an incredible qualifying. This is a definitely qualifying lap right here. These guys are looking to get their numbers now because they're all lined up, nose to tail, pushing each other, coming into that turn, coming in 3 and 4.
How many cars do we got here? 3, 6.
Looks like we got 13 at this point, from what I count. 2, 4, 6.
I got 11.
8. Okay. See, I didn't take my shoes off.
Yeah, there's 11, I believe.
11. That's actually a great a super speedway run. And there it is. We're coming to the final part.
That was the final part. There we go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It looks like because you can tell because once you come across that start-finish line, all the cars go crazy.
Wasn't as big as the wreck of us guys in the Xfinity race last night at all qualifying.
That's true, yeah. That was kind of, that was a good time last night.
I think I got a 47. My fast lap is 45.
I don't want notifications.
You're safe. Come on, right now.
Right now, guys, looks like these guys are actually they're pushing the issue now because they want their fast lap now. Sorry. Then there it is.
Poop.
That should be the finalization of that qualifying.
He was on NASCAR.
He was on NASCAR.
All right.
You know what Jay just told me? That you can suck his dick. Wow.
Whoa. Who just said, wow, can I, is
Whoa.
that muted real quick, please? Because that came all right over live broadcast, guys. You may want to be careful of that one.
Back out, guys.
Let's see, who got the pole? Jolly, 46.7.
Where did Boz go?
He got 10th. 47.3. But it's not about where you qualify.
No, it's where you finish.
Yeah, exactly, and that, especially at Talent.
You left the pan on the stove and the burner on the stove. You know, potatoes ready?
But no, guys, I mean, yeah, it's Talladega. I mean, here, especially, qualifying is not such a big of an issue as it is in some of the other places that we go to. Do you want to be more to the front? Correct. Do you want to, find that right person you want to just hang out with for the first two stages? Most likely. And third stage is where it's all going to happen, that's for sure. So just let us know, buddy, when we're... Interesting for
We can join.
Qualifying.
Cheesehead did get in here, so there is 12. There is 12 drivers now for the
12.
race. Yep.
Nice.
I still believe we're missing. There's still one player driver who didn't show up, but that's.
Oh, I ended up a little bit too early on that one. I don't want to be in this race. I definitely really mess everybody up. Just let me know when we're ready, buddy.
Alright, yep, we're good to go. We can join.
Must have missed it just barely.
And green flag. 43 car qualified second. That's teammates right there, 1-2. And
Ooh,
the two cars are already trying to make it 3 wide.
Everybody's hitting the apron to the bottom. Trying to keep her straight.
95 into the outside wall. Probably just that. I mean, that's smart. 9 car to the apron. He's going to the back. I like that move. I don't. That was way too hectic for Tone 1. The 2 cars over here trying to go 3 wide. Like come on. We haven't even made it to Tone 3 yet. The 3 wide right there. The
well,
3,
we know
the
from
8.
last night, guys. I mean, we know from last night that the run you can get is it's deceiving, very deceiving, because you can get a great push. And
It's
you
good
have
if you
to
got
dump
help,
it.
though. You gotta have the help to make the run walk.
I agree.
Now they're all single file.
Yeah, I think we might see this through most of this cup race. Is that these
18's
guys are
going
gonna hug
high.
that? Yep, they're gonna hug that low line just because they know that even. We kind of went through this even the Xfinity cars that, you get up on that high line. If you don't have a 5-car, 6-car pack, that high line is tough to run. And we went through that too. We went through that last night, didn't we, you guys?
I'm gonna be 100% though. I don't like what these guys are doing. I don't like the being single file on the bottom move. I think that you get so much more checkup and stuff that if you all like that 4th car, 3rd car in line. That's where the big checks happen, and then that 5th car line, they have to capitalize. The help behind them has to realize that those guys are just going to keep checking up over and over and over again, and they just have to get the outside lane to walk. And I don't think that I've been in plenty of DEGA races on this game. I've done a couple 100%ers, to say the least, and I just don't think that that's the move, honestly. I think that if you can get the outside to walk, there's less checking up. And you can just sit there and hold a full throttle. Actually,
I agree. I agree with that. I've been now with the wheel access that I have now. Being on a wheel, I noticed that high line. I like that high line a lot more than I do that low line. because you can keep that momentum and you keep those RPMs up and you keep that thing wound up tight, you know what I mean? You don't lose so much speed on being in the backside, you know, being up on that high side. But you got to have a team. You got to have 5, 6 cars though to make it work too, though.
Ooh, a little bit of a lag there from the 3. It looked like.
It was like the 39 kind of checked up a little bit behind the 2.
Yeah,
space.
It looked like the 39 car lagged.
Yeah. That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
It's hitting right in the corner though.
Oh, not the 39 car. I mean the 3 car. Yeah.
The 12 car better be careful though, because he's definitely flirting around with that double yellow line.
Well, he's the leader, so I mean, if he wants to go down there, I guess he's not advancing his position. But
well, no, I agree with that, but just got you got some people that you get that great run coming off. If somebody gets down there, you got that great run, then you kind of in that stuck position. You know what I mean? You kind of stuck. Yep. Because even though that you're not advancing your position, if someone gets to run on you on the outside, technically you're out of bounds.
There is one car that dropped out of this pack, and he's way back there. It's Tony Flyers, Anthony Camavada in the 95 car. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to see that, but I don't think he'll go a lap down in this stage. I can't remember how long it is. They're going to be longer stages. It's a 94 lap race here.
Yeah, correct. I mean, you never give up, man. You can't never give up, especially with something like this and being such a huge track. I mean, even though you're out of the draft, I know that I ran out of the draft last night a little bit in the Xfinity Series, and I was still able to run a 50.8, by myself. If you just keep focused and keep hitting your marks, you might be able to get away with it.
Yeah, but in these Cup cars, they're running 46s in this draft, and you're running, like a 40.
No, I agree.
You can already see, like, he's just in the middle of turn 2. The leaders are all the way down. Like when he's exiting turn 1, do you see that little dab?
Yeah, that was a little making that thing work and stick that thing in the hole when it wasn't there.
But he's he probably will go a lap down this stage, but as long as nobody has mistakes, he's gonna be fine.
No, because you'll get that lap, but you'll be able to still pit, you'll be able to still get your lap back. These guys are definitely hugging the bottom. Definitely, you can see that it's way different from last night because the guys last night were not. Yeah, it was too wide all the way through the field, and yeah. You see these guys are being a little more conservative, maybe because of the horsepower factor.
There's a track lag.
Yeah, there's a big one. Alex, he just took a big old dip to the left. They're going to let him get accumulated and get it back up into the field. See, that's great right there, guys. That's something I definitely want to point out. Is that
a track lag, big track lag.
Yeah, with that lag that happened, the guys gave him a little bit of extra room, let him get gathered up, and from there, and as a driver, he jumped to the high side because he knew he lost his momentum. And that is the way it turned out. And look what happened. There was no cautions in that incident, and they're still going green. That's great racing right there. But it looks like now he's he's gathered himself back up. Looks like he's trying to get up on that third line and get that thing working a little bit. That 12's going to drop back some because he just stepped out. That 18 is going to catch up on that draft. We'll see how that works. But that 43, the 53, and the 1 are definitely pushed it hard going to the bottom.
So now you have teammates 1-2 from Wolfpack. You got Jade 3rd, Keith 4th. That's fatal. And then you got one of the 2 Bogolaf brothers, Cheesehead, in the 3. Secure the pokes and the 2 making a move to the outside. Ooh. Alex is going to left there, got a little bit below, didn't want to get a penalty. I don't think he went fully below, so I don't think he would have been, but still good,
He's still towards the back of the field, so he should be safe on that aspect.
Yeah.
He's seen a hole and trying to fill it. Anybody checked out because he thought that all the cars coming down.
Yeah, no, I mean, that hole can close up so quick sometimes because of the momentum change in the draft that it's tough to hit that hole.
Here's one thing we're going to talk about a lot, too. The 18 car just made that move entering a corner. That is one thing that you don't like to do here, I think. And it's something that you don't do a lot of. And, a little bit of a...
18 just put the...
It shouldn't hurt the 12. Hurt the 20 pretty bad actually. Now, what's gonna have to happen is that 18 is gonna, if he wants to, he can drop back to that 20 car, his teammate, and those two can work together. And once these guys start to battle again, they're gonna be right back up there with them, just because of all the checking up that this pack's gonna have to do.
Right here. Watching
Yeah,
the 3
and
car.
actually, I was just noticing that too, Jacob. You said that one tagged out yellow line a little bit. He got himself a little bit squirrely, so he had to back out of it. So that killed the movement of the 39. He's going to have to check up and go on the outside, but it's going to squeak everybody up. Now he's going to it's a train ride from there. Oh, they let him in. Oh, the 3 and the 39, the 3 let him in.
I thought they were going to go follow him. Well, I guess not. They let him back in.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching that the whole way through. I'm like, nah, they're just gonna train through and let him drop on the back of the field. But no, they did. He gave him enough room and let him in. But it looks like we got like a 10-car field right now over a blanket, nose to tail. Yeah, these guys are definitely they're loving that they're definitely bottom feeding. But things can change as we go into pit stops and stuff like that and into the stage. I mean, at that point, now that knowing that these guys are doing this, guys, what I would do is I would change my car setup totally different. I would try to get that thing to be able to hold that outside line. And maybe if I can get 4 or 5 more guys that were able to hold that outside, I would actually start pushing that outside line and see what happens.
Yeah, but that's not a talk that these drivers are going to have right now is... I think right now it's just the first 2 stages. It's going to be a lot of conservative racing until these guys get to the end of these stages. You want to start having that talk about the outside lane and making a car work in the outside for that final stage. That's when you do a lot of your big adjustments. You don't for this first couple of stages. Kind of just let me get my wedge a little bit tighter. Let me get my wedge a little bit looser. Get some extra tape on it since I can run the temperature up a little bit. You know, you walk around with the tape and the wedge a lot in the first 2 stages. And then once you get that 3rd stage, that's when you hope that you can get your tire pressures in and stuff like that. Now, tire pressures, not going to help you a lot. No, it's Talladega. No. But you even those things out to 50, 50, 50 or 60, 60, 60, 60. One of those 2 things, you even those out, it's going to help you. The restarts for your tires will be so much better than the guys who don't do that. But... do you have help on the restarts to make it work?
Right. And I ran into last night with the Toyotas that the nose of the beginning, because I ran a very tight setup to begin with. But the nose of those Toyotas, even though you ran a tight setup, it seemed to want
full set of pit stops. Oh, the 43 gets loose and he wrecks it.
Oh, no way. Yeah, there's a clump of cars coming in all at once.
Not a lot of damage for him. But he's going to have to go another lap because there's no way he's going to be able to turn that thing back around and get in that line. So that's going to hold his first stage hopes. But he didn't get damage from it. There might be a couple of scratches on that nose, but it's not bad at all. So he's definitely going to be able to recover from that. It could definitely have been worse.
I thought he's gonna connect the 2 car because he just misses right rear left.
The 12 car has a ton of damage. He's got right rear damage. He's got hood damage. 2 car with a little bit of, actually the 2 car just a little bit of nose damage. 39's got some big left front damage.
Looks like Boz has rear damage too.
And that's what I was talking about. Look at this group of that just came into the pits. The 53, the 3, and the 1. They got into pit lane so much cleaner than that big pack of cars did. But the big pack of cars right here, they have 5 cars right here, bumper to bumper to bumper. So
well, we've seen it before. Even though like last night, even though you got those 5 cars. It depends on how well those other cars got out. You can still maintain that lead, even with all those cars. I mean, they're going to gain. But is there enough time? Is there enough laps? Is there enough of anything?
So right here's the 43 car. He just made his pit stop. That's the leaders passing him for the lead. More like the cars on track that are the leaders passing him for the lead.
Who are they getting ready to pass?
Now let's see.
Keith.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Now Keith is by himself. He didn't get the tow from the 53 and the 1. 53 and the 3, my bad. So he might be able to catch the back end of the 48 car, but it's going to be close. Now the front 2, this is where it gets fun, is you're probably going to have one pit stop in the stages. So do they throw the block?
I think they will.
I mean,
No,
I know I would.
I may not. I may not.
Oh.
Well, now people are going to try to soak it to the bottom, and now...
What? I just hit the wall for some reason.
And look at that. Jody tried to go with the Fords, and they just left him out to dry. If they didn't have his help, they don't pass those 2 cars. So, I think they just say... I think 39 just learned a lot about what those 2 guys are doing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he kind of got left, left that dust in the wind kind of deal, but he's still going to recover very well. He's still going to be
And now you got 2 Fords, Chevy. So if these are five Chevys want to work together, well, they're going to get the 2 Fords, easy money,
Oh, yeah, because if they're doing the manufacturer kind of deal, as you usually do when you come to Talladega, it is about manufacturers more than anything else. Working together and teamwork. Yeah, he's got himself some outnumbered numbers. So hopefully, maybe he can find, a little bit of that cooperation we talk about. But everything goes out the window on the final stage, anyways, guys.
The 3
We all
decided to
know
go
that.
high. No one's gonna follow the 3. Oh, they let him back in.
Yep. And that's we've seen that before, Trump. Me and you raced together before. We see how that that give and take kind of deal kind of works. That's that teamwork we talk about. That's that cooperation. That's that family we talk about. All right. Didn't quite make it. Let him back in. It's really at this stage of the race. It doesn't really hurt nothing. But it's guaranteed that give and take is definitely going to go right out the window come the final stage of this race. But right now, those top 7 cars looks like they've got themselves tuned up. Looks like 53. He just stepped out a little bit. He may have needed a little bit of extra air on that nose because it wasn't quite handled well. He's trying to get that hot top side of work, but by himself, it's not going to happen. He's going to lose a couple spots, so he's going to have to slide into the backside of that far line. Right now, we got the 12, the 2, the 9, the 3, the 20. That's your top 4, top 5. 39, 53. That's your top. That's actually your top 6 right there. Under a blanket, these guys are working themselves away, nose to tail. They're actually going to, and that's sometimes at that point,
11 to go in the stage, by the way.
Yeah. And that's where you got to get. Now it's time to separate the men from the boys, kind of, sort of working in towards,
It's DEGA. These guys can wait to the end of these stages a lot more. With 11 to go, I think it's still too early to make your move. I like to make my move around 3 to go. 3 is when I want to start making the moves.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens. The 9 car's backing off of the 2, so we'll see if he tries to make the run here. Now, I wouldn't mind it. He's a guy that I don't believe is in the playoffs. Dave Marks Jr. right there. So he's kind of just here to win it, take away some of these points,
No, why not? I mean, if you're here for a 1-race deal or a 2-race deal, whatever the deal may be, you're still out to win. It doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you get it done. Well,
I believe he's been here for most of the season. He just didn't make the minimum races to make the playoffs. I believe is what happened with him. So we'll see what happens
too, because right now he's looking like he's sitting in the 3rd position right now. But these guys have definitely decided to is that cooperation we talk about? Let's just ride around, work with each other, get some space between everybody else, and then you'll see a different change after this. Oh, looks like the 9. He got himself a little bit. He may have tagged that yellow line. He's coming into the pits. Oh, I didn't even see that coming.
Probably didn't take enough fuel on when to gas. I mean, he did come out with these guys, but I don't know. That's an interesting decision on his part, but we'll see how it works out for him.
I don't know. Whoever's squeaking that horn is definitely not working because these guys aren't getting out to each other's way.
So we'll see. We'll see how long he stays in pit lane for.
Oh,
It was only like a splash
sound
of.
like a horn. Beep,
It
beep.
was only a splash of fuel for the 9 car. So I don't know. That's interesting. Here's the 48 car, by the way. He's singing all by himself back there. And now this pack that was once had 2 other Chevys in it.
Yep.
Only
Now,
has
separated.
3 Chevys.
Yep. I said there's that deal. These guys they know what they got to do. They got to run this at this point. You got to run
Now
this
these three well, they can make it out of fuel, I believe. These 3 Chevys can still beat these two Fords. So it's just a matter of when do they make the, it's just a matter of when they make the move.
Yeah, or do they make the move? Or they may just be content. Okay.
Nah, you're never content. You need those playoff points. You know who needs them.
That's true.
You know who needs them really bad? The 2 car. And here they come to pit road.
Wow, they're dumping in.
Oh!
The 2's dumping in. Oh, there's a little bit of contact there, headed for pit road. That might be a speeding penalty by a couple of them. The 2 and the 12, they might just got themselves locked up.
I think the 12 is good. But the 2 car, look at how much time he got on them.
Yeah, that was a big push. And that's what we were talking about when we were talking about pre-races. That going into pit road, going in as together, is that you got to be very careful because
there goes the 39 splash of fuel. Yep, the 2 car
splash of fuels. He's out. The 12's coming out right behind him. The
2 car
still sitting out.
Speeding penalty. Right as I brought it up that he needed these points.
Yeah. You jinxed him. He'll be on at you later.
Nah. The guy, he doesn't.
No,
the guy.
It can happen.
The guy.
We went through it last night.
The guy doesn't really like me, so either way, it's whatever.
Nah. But we went through it last night, guys. If you remember right, I mean, you had the 78 and the 5 leading last night, and it took them completely out of the race because of that same issue of contact going down pit road, and they both got back.
And what happened to the 43 is what happened to the 13 car at the end of that race. One car just spun into the pits, and it just shot him up into the outside wall. I mean, I got the luck of the draw there because I was able to just bring it back down the track and still make the commitment line at least. But I had 12 seconds of damage on his end. He didn't get the damage part of it. He just had to go around the track an extra lap.
Now this Ford, I'm looking at this Ford now. He's definitely got some serious outnumbered now because you got the 3 and the 53 right behind him, and those boys are, they're gonna team up.
Well, that's the 2 car. He had the speeding penalty.
Oh, is that the 2?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yep, you're right. I agree. He just came out.
The 39 car he's in tow with the 43 and. He's kind of by himself. He has a little bit of a gap to the 12 car. And look at the 9. He's the one who ended up pitting a lap over these guys. Yeah. And look at where he is. He is himself positioned in, well, right now it's 5th, but once the 43 and 95 pit, if they have to again, he's going to be up there and,
Yeah, he's gonna have a good spot. Looks like the 20 and the 18, those guys have tagged up together. And then you got the 2, the 3, and the 53. Those 3 guys are running together. The 1, he looks like he's starting to make he's coming off from pit road right now. Looks like 12, he's starting to peek on the outside of that 95. He's like, he might have that run, and he's trying. Yeah, there it is, 95. Let him squeak in. 12 collects up with them guys with the 43. So these guys are spread all over the track now after those pit stop exchanges. Penalties. It looks like 18, the 20, those boys are both... Oh! We love to watch the carnage that happens on pit road here. But the 20 and the 18, looks like that's just a splash of fuel, and they're on their way out already. But yeah, folks, we got these guys all spread out all over the track. Once we get to the end of the stage, then we collect them all back up again, and we'll stop.
They are on lap 26 of 29 right now.
43, he's coming in.
Yep, I believe this is probably the last lap. 26 to 29 would mean that you have 26, 27, 28, 4 to go?
Yeah, so it's just a splash of fuel and go. No tires, no nothing.
95's going to try and save 2 laps of fuel, but I mean, there's no point in trying that one.
No.
I mean, he can do it, but he's just gonna finish where he's gonna be anyway. So that doesn't make any sense to me.
All right.
Got a nice little big pack from the 18, the 1, the 20, but the 18 and 20 they already pitted, yeah. So you have a nice little 3 call and then another 2, 3 behind that, and that's
the 12 and
the 3 call pitted again, unless he never pitted the first time because he's coming off a pit lane.
Yeah, he might have. Yeah, that might have been an oops.
I don't. Let's see.
I'm not sure. But it looks like the 12 and the 39, they're gonna definitely overtake him. While
he's going. Yep, that's gonna put him a lap down.
Yeah. Oh. But I mean, it said in the stage, if you're the only car lap down, that you know you can get that lap back. You just got to stay focused.
Now, what has to happen is, do the brothers work together, or do the Chevys work together?
At this point, it would be at this being where it is, I would do whatever I had to.
Chevys working together.
Yep. I see that too. They both starting to jump on that high side. Make that push around that.
He said, "Bye, brother."
Yep. But it's also too about how comfortable you are, who you drafted with too. You know, that's a big thing. Now it looks like they both slid actually right back behind him.
Yeah, with the fans cheering like that, we might be coming to the checkered flag of the stage.
I was thinking that too. The whole time I'm sitting here calling this race, I'm sitting here pushing on my pedals thinking I'm racing and I'm not even in it.
Nope. I'm gonna guess this is the white flag.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Cause I kind of lost track. I forgot how many laps ago I said there were. So.
He's at 26.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not the best with numbers.
Yeah, it's kind of tough when they all get spread out like this. It's kind of tough to follow everybody through.
Yeah, because 12 cars trying to go high, but nobody's going with them.
53 out of fuel.
Oh! Will he make it?
No, he's a lap down now.
Nope. Yep.
He's gotta hope that that they don't lap the 3.
Yeah, he's gonna see. Yeah, I was gonna say he better hope that nobody else can stop him because of.
Yeah, he's gonna get the. It looks like he's gonna get the free pass. The 95 was about a lap away from going a lap down there. Look at how slow he's going up there, and that's without even crossing the stripe yet. So he definitely made his window to make it the whole way. 12 calls.
A big gamble.
Something happened. 12. Okay. Let's see who our top 5 was.
No, that was a huge gamble by the 53 to hope that he doesn't end up being the. Hopefully he ends up to be the first car lap down.
Running out of fuel.
So now we're just waiting confirmation and see where everybody panned out on this, and
we had it the whole way around the whole time. The 3 call won the stage.
Wow.
There was the 3, 39, the 9, the 12, the 20. Or the 12, 9, 20. I don't have good skills here.
No, that's fine. That's fine. No, that's close. I mean, wow, that's kind of a. We didn't even have a clue about that one. We thought it was the other way around.
But then again, it makes sense to what.
Dropping back.
So everybody should be back on the lead lap. Because the 18 didn't go a lap down, 95 didn't, the 53 did, but he got his lap back.
His lap back.
Yeah. Outside line just doesn't work. It just does not work on those restarts.
It does, but it takes quite an effort by all the drivers to be able to stay.
You have to get through the gears good enough, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what it is too. Is if any point in time that low line being the way it is, if you can't get through the gears fast enough on that high line and have enough drivers with you, yeah, you're kind of squash. You got him. You're gonna have to drop back. That 18 definitely. He's been hung out to dry. These guys still seem to be wanting to hug that bottom line and stay single file. Now look at that 20. He might be hung out to dry too. He might lose a few spots.
He slept in.
Yeah, yeah. He was able to. There was some space between those guys, and looks like the 2. He got pushed up high. These guys are starting to. They're really starting to sneak with this aggressive with this side draft and try to get this high side load work. The 12. He scoots up in front of the 2. Try to catch up his draft.
Goes up high.
Oh, now here we go, folks.
95 goes up high.
Yeah, looks like here we go, folks. Looks like these boys is done starting to play around, and they start trying to get this high line to work in now.
And there was the 95. He's like, oh, that's a free 4 spots right there for me. Oh, he was gonna go make it 3 wide right there. That was about to be deadly.
Oh,
48 code.
He got himself up high.
48 code tapped the apron a little bit, and they kind of both hit the same mistake because the 12 came down trying to side draft.
Yeah, it looks like that 12 just can't quite be able to hold that high line. And then we all know how tough that high line is to be able to hold with each other. That 39er Jody, he's trying to sneak up onto that 18 draft and maybe pull himself up a few more spots. He might be able to do it. Definitely, you can tell, guys, business is definitely picked up now.
Business is booming. But it's only the second stage, and if that was the second, if we're seeing this in the second stage, especially a block like that in the second stage, oh my goodness!
That was a big block. I mean, it definitely put him down below that line. It wasn't his fault, but it just, that was a block. These guys are definitely getting these things kind of tuned in a little bit better. Now we're starting to see this double wide racing that we've been waiting to see.
The 95 and 18 needs to hurry up and slip in right here. Here comes Jargon on the high side on 39.
Yeah, looks like he's gonna make it in that slot. Looks like those 2 guys on the outside, they might be hung out. There's only 2 cars there. That's not going to be enough to push them forward. They need a couple more to get behind that. Looks like some of these guys have been working on this, try to get this high side line worked in, because you see it every lap. Every couple of laps, these guys starting to peak out more and more and more. And that's what's really going to take. I mean, everybody loves to be a bottom feeder here in Talladega. What it's going to take is Bell to get that high line worked up. If you get that high line worked up, I'm telling you right now, you can make the pass.
Looks like the 18 just moved the 1 out of the way.
And that could be just because we've experienced it before. That could be just momentum. It may not be an intentional, nothing's ever intentional, but, unfortunately sometimes you can just get such a run that you have no choice but to dump it somewhere, outside, inside, if you can make it, fit it. I mean, it happens that way. It's just the way these tracks are. But right now, I'm just riding around the middle of the pack. What looks like the 3, you got the 43, you got the 48. He's made a great recovery. You got the 18, the 95. That's your top 5 there, folks.
Oh, the 95 left the 18 out to dry.
Well, I mean, we all know that. I mean, we have in Talladega, you really have no friends, but it's going to see these guys are definitely getting themselves fanned out through the middle of this field. But the top 3, 4 drivers, 5 drivers, 6 drivers, they're all nose to tail hugging that bottom line, as we all know that's the preferred groove. Now everybody else is starting to get themselves back. They got themselves dropped into a hole, and just now they're riding at this point.
That 43 keeps hitting the apron.
Yeah, I noticed that too, buddy. I was watching that too. That yellow line can be a villain sometimes. If you hit that thing just wrong, you're going for a ride, and so is half the people behind you. But they're definitely, you can see it every once in a while. Now we got a 3-car pack that's trying to peek to that outside.
That 95 needs to go high. That was him.
Actually, I would say the 48, if he dropped out to the outside, you take the 95, he dropped to the outside, that would make this a 2 by 2 by 2 all the way through the field. But these guys just aren't willing to take the risk right now. And they're all back single file once again. It could be just a waiting game. It could be this. I mean, it takes a knack to get this high line worked in, but looks like that 43 and that 3 and that 48, they've got themselves hooked back up. Looks like the 48, he's a little squirrely from that yellow line. We all know that, yeah, that yellow line can be
treacherous.
Yeah, we hate that yellow line, especially on the super speedways, because it's so slick and it can do so much. It can make your car so uneasy. But look, I mean, still nobody's really breaking away from this field. Looks like everybody still nose to tail. There goes the one. He looks like he's going to dip out a little bit. He looks like got himself a little bit squirrely. But the top three, these guys are trying to. They're working as hard as they can to try to separate, get some room between 4, 5, and 6. Looks like another one. Looks like 20. He may have jumped out. Then we got another one that jumps out. And that's what it's going to take too. That's what it's going to take. But yet, you know, you get that kind of that unnervy feeling when you're racing super speedways, that when you jump out, you're afraid that just like happens, you get stuck and nobody's going to go with you, because everybody knows that the fastest way around this thing is the bottom line. That's why I've been really adamant about trying to work that high line.
Me too.
Because I know you get 6 cars on that high line, you can make some ground. And you can do it with some serious side drafting and some good side drafting. You can slow that bottom lane down enough, and you'll catch them. But no, folks, these guys done a great job, caution free so far for the race. These guys are still trying to work now you got some working, actually trying to work that third line all the way up against that wall. Try to keep that momentum up, but still, it's just not enough cars there. So what do we think, guys, so far? These guys done a great job. I think our third stage is definitely going to be
interesting.
One, I think our pit stops, because as how close as these cars are together, I think our pit stops are going to be definitely very interesting at this point. But that third stage, I mean, if these guys get these things those cars worked up on that high side, I think we could end up watching some 2-wide action here coming to the end of this.
And let's do a quick through the field here.
You go ahead.
Leading the field, we got the 3 car Cheesehead. He had a win this year at the double points Bristol race before the playoffs. Got him some extra playoff points, so he's hoping to get some more here today at Talladega. Moving on to second place, as these good boys are starting to try to make moves. That's after coming out in the 95 making the move there. Second, though, right now is the 43 car, Connor. He drives the 43 for Wolfpack. You got Balls in the 48 in third. Anthony Camarado once again, who we'll probably say his name a lot. He makes a lot of crazy good moves there. He's in now he's driving back because that outside lane just dissolves. There's the 2 car of Secure the Porks making a move to second. You got the 39 car there right on his back bump of Jody or Jarrett Reese, and then you have Keith Ayers right there on the 1. You got you got the other Bogolaf brother. There we go. What's a brother? I don't know. It's Bogey. You got Dave Wool just kind of chilling at the back, not really at the back of the pack. He's kind of off all by himself, like the 95 was last stage. You got the 18 of Charlie Owen, the 20 of Alvinsville, and the 53 of Jade Boy. I think I hit everyone.
Yeah, you got everyone, buddy. These guys, I was watching while you're going through the field, and I was watching these guys. These guys are definitely jostling up a little bit. They're still trying that high line. I give them credit for that. They're not giving up on it.
We have a new leader while he was doing all that.
Yeah, no, he actually took that lead from the outside.
From the outside.
And then that's how it's going to be.
The pit road.
Oh, this is going to be chaos, because you're looking at 5, 6, 7 out. There's a lot of people. Yeah, there's 7 cars. There's some contact.
Oh, they got in there. I'm gonna say that's perfectly. With that many cars, that's perfect as you can do with the 20 car. Went way down to the bottom, so he's gonna have a little bit of damage on the left side, but it's not gonna hold him because this is not the new game yet. We cannot just randomly cut tires from hitting stuff. But if you could, he probably would have cut that tire coming into the pits, which wouldn't have mattered because he's probably gonna get full flashes on it here.
At this point in time in the race, it's 4 fresh tires, a full tank of fuel, maybe throw a couple, a little bit of adjustment in it.
Now here's where it gets fun, trying to get these guys sorted out. Well, they actually they got sorted out actually pretty quick there. I kind of, if I'm the one car, I would have loved to see him kind of lean off the gas there and just let these guys. Yeah, but because now what's going to happen is these guys behind him are going to get a huge run, and they're just going to go over him on the outside, and all that's going to do is slow them down. On pit road, this time is another big group of cars. Looks like they all got in there pretty evenly. You have the 53 coming out now. There's the 95. There goes the 53. There goes the 2. There goes the 12.
Damage.
That's gonna happen at a DEGA. 48 doesn't actually have a lot, but the one car has a ton. We'll see how this. We'll see how this
pans out here. Yeah, I agree. When they all came off the road, they were all sideways.
Never mind. These guys are gonna fly by those 3 that just came out. Oh, will they? Maybe not as fast as I thought that they were going to. There's 4 guys that came out that time. They might not get all the way up to that first car in line right away. They might not even get to the back bumper of these guys to make a pass on them. Yeah, they're not. They didn't get there because these guys are gonna be those 3 in front are gonna be lined up. They are gonna be up to speed. Well, not fully up to speed. You have to at least get them to about here. But now they're fully up to speed. So I don't. Yeah, look at that. The momentum from the 1 and the 39. You could tell it started to stall for a second there. I think the 53 might have lifted actually to let these 2 guys down in line in front of him. That was the 20 of Alvin's and the 1 of Keith Ayers. Remember, Keith is a member of that Fatal Motorsports team that Jade is on, and Jade already won a race, so this could be a strategy for him to help his one of his guys get locked into the next round. That probably was his plan to let them get in line.
I was say, if he lifted at any point in time, it had to be because it was the only reason why is that it was a teammate. And
now, 20 car getting in line, he kind of forced his way down a little bit, but he made it walk. And look at that, the 95 threw a massive block, checked up the whole field, and the 20 is going to get the raw end of the stick. 3 car to the bottom, 53, 1 car ditched his team owner. 48 goes up high with the 53.
Yeah, looks like he may have gotten a little bit of contact in that wall.
Yeah, now these guys are going to be sorted out here, back to single file. 48's going to have to drop to the back of this pack. He might be able to slide in right there in front of the 18, and the 18's going to left for him.
Yeah, as long as, I mean, he looks like he's going to recover pretty well from that. I mean, he's still going to be have himself locked in the draft. So, I mean, as long as he doesn't lose that draft, he'll be good. But definitely, yeah, that was definitely some change of positions there. But right now, it looks like we're actually the one he's going to have to dip up a little bit. It looks like he may have gotten a little tight. He's going to lose those spots. They're definitely trying to side. He's trying to now the 3. He looks like he's going to actually scoot up a little bit. He's not. They're going to let him back in. Is the 39 going to let him squeak through? He does. These guys are definitely doing a lot of give and take right now. Nine car, he's going to have to stay down. He's going to get swallowed up by this field. I don't know, folks. These guys have They're jostling up here a little bit. I mean, I can't wait to see the ending part of this race because I think these guys got something in store for us. That's for sure. Do we know how many laps we got headed left at the end of the stage, buddy? No? Well, I was trying to get confirmation of where we're sitting at this stage, but at this point, let's see where we go up to the front of this field. Looks like we got the 95, we got the 53, and then you got the 20, the 1. That's your top 5. Then you got the 2 fall behind that, the 12 right behind him, the 3. That's the top 7. All nose to tail, they're still all riding around on that bottom, holding that line. But you think, Jake, last night we were trying to make that high side work so bad last night.
Yeah, I know. I tried so hard.
Because I was right there with you, and I wasn't going to give up on that high line because I knew that's where we needed to be. I just could not hold it there. But you had a great finish. That's for sure.
Yeah. Wish I would have got first, but...
Well, I mean, I was right there behind you. I mean, our point standings aren't... I'm right there sitting on your back door trying to do the same thing you are.
6 laps to go.
There we go. And that's what I was waiting for, folks.
And one thing to note is I was sitting there listening to the drafts a little bit. They were half a lap short on fuel, so some of these guys might make and some of these guys might not. This is going to be interesting.
I think the ones in the back part of the draft that have been able to lift and only run like that half throttle, like we were doing last night on some.
The 39 car was in the. This is the thing. The 39 car was half a lap short, pitted a lap sooner than your Lido, and then. Yeah. And a lap sooner than Keith did, who's in the 1. So there's a few cars in here that 53, he can make it. I can't remember who else was in that group with the 53, the 1, and the 95, but the 2 and the 12, they can make it. But there's a few of them that cannot.
I ran into, actually, it's funny because we talked. Now you just mentioned that. I ran into that last night where I pitted. I missed. Oh, I'm gonna yell at the crew chief for this one because it was a missed pit. I should have taken 4 on that second part, that long stint in the 3rd stage. I should have taken 4 to break it up, and then 2 on the last. But yeah, it was definitely a missed call, and I think that's what these guys are trying to do right now.
Yeah, I was kind of forced into strategy last night where I took 2 and then none because of all of my damage.
Yeah. But then, of course, Jacob, he just dropped the hammer anyway, so.
There goes the 1 car. Interesting.
Yeah, he's dropping way back to the backside. He's got.
I don't know if he just accidentally swerved out of that.
There's some squirrely. I'm riding along with the 39, and that was definitely some squirrely action going.
Yeah, I think we got like 4 to go. I don't know how long we were talking for. It's either 5 or 4.
Yeah, the 20. He's gonna step out to the backside. That one.
Just so we don't get too hyped if it's not the last lap, we're gonna go with that these guys are coming to 4 to go and not coming to 3 to go. So 4 to go.
So in other words, we'll split the difference, 2.5.
It'll be 3.5.
Right now, the 53, 3. Okay, well, see, I can't count for nothing either.
Quick maths. 3, 4 and a half, 3.5. Yeah, that'd be the middle for 2 would be 1.5 and no, we could 1.5 and 3 would work too. You could do 1 and 3. Well, that'd be 2.5 then for that because that's the half of that.
Right.
What would two
We
be a
always
half?
love to
The only
throw the
thing
math
two,
in.
the only thing two would be a half of is 1 and 3. That's the middle, which is also the half. Okay. See
No,
now.
that's not what. Now I
See,
got
we're gonna turn this
confused.
into something else here as you guys are coming to 3 to go.
There we go.
That what you said is going to come down to vocabulary and what kind of half you're talking about. Because half can also mean middle, but half of 4 and 3 would be set. It would be 3. It would still be 3.5 though.
That's true, Johnny. Here, let me throw one else with you. Now, if you want to go decimals, it's 0.5.
Well, I know that. I'm saying. Never mind. Either way, half
Here
of
comes a push, though. Here comes a push by the.
and the whole field just going high. The whole field just went high. Oh, 3 wide! 3 wide for second.
There's a big push, and here comes the 53. He's trying to push that middle. He's going to make the outside work on the 95. He took
Oh yeah,
that
these
out.
guys are coming to 2 to go.
You got the 3. You got, yep.
2 to go.
And then they're definitely throwing everything just went out the window now, folks, because the 12, he's hung out to dry. Now you got the 2, the 3, the 39, the 53. They're all going. It's playoff points time, boys. We got to get this stage.
The brothers going at it.
Oh, the 3. He's really wiggly. He gave him some room, though. He's going to end up sticking out. Looks like he was trying to peek on that outside. He's not going to work. He's going to lose. The
3 wide for second.
He's going to take that spot, tag up with the 2. Here comes the 12. He's going to try to tag up the 39, the 95 now. He's right behind the 53. We're going for it now, boys. And the end business just picked up.
And that's the end of the stage.
That's the end of the... Wow, what a finish that one. See? Look at that. That was some great work by those guys. That was some great driving.
2, 12, 39, 53, and 1.
Wow. I mean, I couldn't tell from how I was riding with that anyways. Because that was definitely a lot of switching back and forth of that last lap. Wow, that was exciting. Now wait for this one. Pull those buckles tight, folks, because this is going to be a wild ride. Ooh, that was kind of intense. That got hot real quick, huh,
Okay,
boys?
so I was completely wrong. 2, the 53 got second. The 3 car was in there still. The 95 was up there in the top 5, and so was the 12. 2, 12, 2, 53, 12, 95, 3. 390, something like that. I don't. Math is not. Numbers are not.
It's not about the math. Not about my math. It was just how it was so jostled up coming to that finish line that it was hard. I mean, I didn't even think the 53 finished second.
I thought he finished.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. We're gonna round this baby off with the final stage.
Ready to start stage 3.
Everything goes out the window now.
Green flag.
Friends.
Oh, and there's already contact. 3 and the 39.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a little bit of contact now between the 3. I'm actually riding along the nose of this field right now. Looks like the 53, the 2. Those 2 are side drafting pretty hard coming through.
I think our booth producer needs to bring us some pancakes and eggs.
Pancakes and eggs. How about some chicken and waffles?
I mean, I guess it is 9:30 at night on the East Coast, so only 8:30 in Alabama. So I guess we can go for some chicken too.
Right? Looks like finally now the bottom line. I mean, the top line's lined up. There's just not enough push there right now because those tires. I mean, we know that it's going to take a little bit for those tires to get a little bit heated up. Once they get a good run, looks like the 3. He's going to jump up beside that high side with the 53. But I'm telling you right now, these guys are definitely they've got themselves. They've been trying. Looks like that line just totally dissipated. It looked like an explosion coming out that top line. Just everybody just dipped.
It really didn't disappear. Well, now there it goes. This is just a lot of This is stage 3 is really this is gonna be. It's gonna sound weird to put it. Stage 3 is more controlled, but also more movement, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You'd think it would be more controlled, just driving the bottom the whole, like they were doing earlier, just chilling. but this is what I like to call controlled movements. That's not controlled, but
that's more like controlled chaos.
yeah, that one was a controlled chaos moment. But that's really one of those things is these guys are gonna make those little whoop, one car up, one car down, 2 cars up, 2 cars down. It's gonna be a lot of just controlled movements. It's like angle management.
Looks like the 18. He's gonna have some trouble because he definitely looked like he's falling off way
Well,
off the pace.
and there almost another one going on. The 18
Yeah, I saw it too.
needs.
There's a lot of wiggling there.
The 18 is gonna need something because he needs points. Remember that guy's 9 points below the cut line.
The 9 looks like he's like totally.
No, he's 7.
He's dropping right. He's gonna lose the draft real quick.
That guy is the guy in the 18 car. Dash for cash. Charlie Owen. He's about 7 points below that cut line. Because if we're gonna go,
I mean,
let's go back and let's go back and let's look at our points. Yeah. So Anthony Kamada, the driver of the 95 car, he's your bubble guy right now. He's +7. Charlie Owen, -7.
Oh.
The 43 car, well, he's minus like 15. And
Yeah,
the
so
guy
that's
leading
like
the race,
yeah.
the guy leading the race right now, -40. He needs the win. He got 10 points, but that 10 points won't do much when you're -40.
No, it's basically at this point where we are sitting in the playoffs. You know, it's basically you're 40 points down. It's win or go home at this point. Do everything you can and win or go home.
Next week, Pocono, not really a good track for a lot of people, so lots of practice for next week for these guys.
Oh, there's some contact. The one in the 53, they had a little bit of squirreliness.
That's controlled squirreliness. So their teammates are just working together. It's like what I like to call controlling the madness type squirreliness right there.
Controlled chaos.
Their teammates, so they definitely like communicated. I doubt they didn't, but it was kind of
48.
Yeah.
He's got a big run coming on the bottom, hooking up with the 12.
One thing to watch here.
Nowhere.
That was a huge block by the 2. Remember, folks, we just started stage 3. You don't.
Yeah.
I don't like seeing a block that crazy this early, but all respect to him, I guess.
Yeah.
That just shows how desperate he is to get this win.
The 48 of Alex, he came out of nowhere with a huge run and made up like 4 spots, and now he's sitting in the 3rd spot now.
That's actually one thing I'd like to bring up real quick is with the blocks and stuff like that. Is you could tell by how some of these guys drive that are below the cut line. You'll be able to tell in this final stage how desperate they are to get the win this race because they don't like their chances next week.
There's some contact between the 48, the 1 and the 20.
Looked like the 12 kind of gave the 48 a little bit of a, hey, buddy, you're not going under me, even though I left it.
There's a turn. That's going to be a big wreck coming out.
Not a caution.
Caution on this? No caution.
No. Wait, maybe? Yes, caution.
There it is.
And you know who that helps the most?
The 18.
The 18, he's back in it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, brought him right back up to the field.
First caution of the race comes in stage 3. You expected to see it. I didn't think I'd see it that early in stage 3, but we saw it that early in stage 3. So.
No, I mean, if it's going to happen, I mean, it's going to be stage 3. No doubt about that. Well, that was some action there. These guys were definitely moving back and forth, definitely jostling it up, trying to get themselves into a position. Helps out some of these guys' drivers, get some of this damage if they've got some repaired. And then we're gonna line this bad boy up, go green once again. It's like we got the 2 and the 12 sitting on the front row. He's going to drop down. 95 is going to stay there. You got the 53 is going to tag up with him. You're going to try to get that high line worker. The 3, he's going to stay on the high side. The 18 is going to stay on the high side. The 20 is on the high side. These guys are trying to get this push coming off onto the backstretch. It's just that low line has so much momentum to start. It's hard to do. Unless you are really
Look
good
at that
side
run on the
draft,
outside by the
I was gonna say,
95,
but I was
the
just
53,
looking-
and the 3.
Oh!
And the 95 tried to side draft and got himself way too wide, though.
Yep. I was noticing that too. Looks like the 18
3
is gonna
wide.
drop down. These guys are definitely going to push the envelope now.
Well, they already seen that, hey,
Oh,
caution.
there's a little bit of contact there. There's definitely, you got some serious side drafting going on now. These guys know that it's good. He's going to slide into the 4th spot on the 53. You got the 2, the 12, the 1, the 53, the 39. The other guys on the high side, it's 2 broken up. The 39, the 43, the 18, the 48. He's stepping back into the picture.
This is all... Ooh, big check.
Oh, there's a big check up there. Looks like they are going to get
One thing
themselves
to watch.
straightened out.
We didn't mention it with the 2 and a must-win, basically. His teammate has a good cushion. Expect the 12 car to throw some crazy blocks for this 2 car.
Oh, yeah, I expect it, yeah. Try to help him, get him in.
There goes the 1. 12 trying to side draft.
And I believe that 1 in the 53, those 2 are teammates.
There was 4 cars now going to the outside. 5 cars to the outside against the 2 Fords. And then, it's just kind of, there's just 5 cars in the back just going at it. They're 3 wide back there.
If those other cars can catch up with that
And
draft,
here they go, those Chevys and that 1 Toyota on that outside line.
That's all right. There's no shame in being the odd man out sometimes.
I don't like what the 1 car just did there.
No,
that
I would
was
have actually hung back.
I would have hung with the I would have hung with the guys on the outside because now he has to walk and try to defend these 2 Fords by himself. And here's the rest of the field up in there. Aggressive move by the 20. Contact with the 39. That's the 95 of Anthony Kamoto. What a save to not hit the wall, but he's out of the draft by a while. No, the 39, he's in a weird spot. He might just be hanging on by a thread to these guys. So he's gonna probably need a checkup or 2 to get back up there. But when he gets there,
the way these guys are racing, they could happen.
And there goes the 18. There goes the 1 to the outside. The 9 car looking, just trying to figure out what to do. And he's gonna go to the outside. Now he's gonna drop back down from the 48. Little Hendrick teammates right there, I think.
You still got those top 2. You got the 1 lead, and you got the 2, you got the 12, you got the 53 right behind them, the 43, the 18.
I like this from the 20. He's hanging in those people's drafts ahead of him, but he's also trying to give the 39 some drafts since he was like, they're getting a little bit too racy, but I also did mistake him, so if I'm not going to lose too much, I might as well go back and help him out a little bit.
Yeah, if you could stay at least hooked on.
Big move up front, by the way. Sorry to interrupt you, but that's the.
No, go ahead,
they're
buddy.
going all over the place. 12 car or 2. That's actually the 2. They look. The red and the orange looks the same from a distance.
Oh, we're going 3 wide.
4 wide.
4 wide. There's some contact. 18, the 53, the 9. He's got to squeak underneath that. He's 18.
43 got into the wall a bit, but he's not going to even lose any time. He's going to lose time because he's outside by himself, but he didn't lose as much time as I thought he would. And the 20 and the 39 now are going to have to get a crazy good push here. Because...
Yeah, they totally lost the draft. But
there goes another call. The 1 of Keith Ayers into the wall. So he's going to lose that draft and help the 20 and the 39. Now that's 3 cars. And really with all this checking up that these guys are going to have and battling, each time that they can get some help from an extra car, that's exactly what they need.
Yeah.
2 cars out to the back of this pack. Split up those 2 Ford Mustangs. Now let's see if anybody works with him.
All right, at this point now, being as crazy as it was, I try to settle this down. Looks like
they're not settling it down. 53 and the 9 to the outside.
He's going to make a big side draft that 12, but
18 to the outside. 9 to the outside.
Looks like that 12, he's going to take over that spot, but looks like now he's got some help. The 53 on the outside with that 18. Still not going to be enough, though. It's not enough cars. Whether you got a 5 car on the bottom and 2 car on the top. He's trying to make a hole. It's not happening.
Watching this racing,
he was peeking it. He was trying to peek it out.
This is exciting me for the next game because those little side draft moves and stuff, they walk. They definitely walk.
I've heard so many mixed things about that. 53, he's going to have to recover and drop to the backside of that field. He's good now. All that work and all that game to get up to that second spot. Now
But
he's
once
dropped all the way
again,
down.
he's gonna help that Toyota and 2 Chevys, one of which is his teammate behind. I mean, they're a little bit farther back, but just each time that they can even get a little taste of that draft, or even a split second from these guys, it's gonna help them more and more.
Oh, yeah.
And I would expect to see the 20, the 39, and the 1 catch up to this pack eventually.
Oh yeah, no, it's just going to be where pit stops are going to come into play and this and that, or what's going to happen. Now these guys have got themselves settled down. They seem to be single file again.
Which that's usually a sign of pit stops probably coming soon, but I feel like they just pitted a few laps ago with that caution, so we'll see.
I figured so too. I mean, it's going to come to that too. I mean, these guys are getting a little bit antsy there, and they might have been a little bit too soon to pull the trigger, but it looks like they were definitely they were ready to go. Looks like the 53, he's going to sneak underneath that 9. Looks like he may have got himself a little bit squirrely there. He's going to pull him up. That 18, he's going to be stuck on that outside.
Now this
too,
one, this situation now, with this 18, he's going to actually get back in line. I was going to say, if he would have actually had to wait and slip behind that 9, it would have, those guys behind him would have been in his draft. Because
you look farther behind him, guys. Watch that 3-car pack that's following behind this main body. They're catching him. Well, there's some contact. That's going to be a caution.
The 18.
18.
What a
go around.
39-1. Yeah, that's a caution.
That's going to be a caution, folks.
What was a 2-car thinking in that one?
Wow, that was like way out of left field.
That's what you
was
call
a horrible block.
That's what you call desperation. He knows the situation. He's not going to get any. He's not. He doesn't. Like I said, you do moves like that when you don't like your chances at the track that's next, and he's in a must-win. And if you don't like Pocono, you gotta. He's going to be a little bit more desperate. Some of these guys. He's in a bad point spot, but you can't do that.
Even with that kind of aspect of that, you still got to look at this way. If I don't finish a race, or if I'm last in a race, that is not going to help me in any form, way whatsoever. Even going into a track that, I mean, anything can happen in any track. I've been part of it. I've seen it happen. You know what I mean? And you still got to have that mentality of, okay, can I make this cleanly, or is it going to be a mess? Well,
yeah, because if it's not cleanly, you're getting a penalty anyways. And after that block, there might be some talks about a penalty after that one, because that was. The guy was at his door. Like, come on, you can't be making a block with the guy at your door. That's insane.
No, we're gonna strap these belts tight again, and we're gonna go 2 wide and see where this all pans out, and see how aggressive these guys are really gonna be. Oh, 53, he gets out of shape.
That's not too bad. It's not bad at all, actually. They're all gonna stay in the pack.
Everybody's gonna stay straight. Yep. And we know how sometimes, when these cars start, when you get these cars fired
one thing to mention
these cars don't always handle right.
One thing to mention real quick. If I'm the 39 car, I am just going to say, I'm doing what he's doing right now. I am riding at the back of this because he has 40 points to the cushion. Like, let the spots come to you.
Yeah.
Like that. There's 2 spots for him.
Yeah, there's 2 spots
like,
there.
let the spots just come to you.
No. Exactly, yeah, and that's what you have to do here. You can't try to force it, this and that. It's not going to work here at Talladega, because especially when it comes to the final parts of this and being a playoff race, people do not want to give an inch for nothing because every point matters.
Looks like the 9 cars have a little bit of issues hooking that thing to the bottom. The car's usually behind him gets the bad side of the stick, as they get that. Just gets way out of it.
Looks like the 48. He might be having a little bit of a.
He ended up getting into the back of the 9 car there when he got a little bit squally on that apron on the yellow line, and so like I said, it's just one of those things. That's a little bit too loose, and you hit someone. It's just it hurts you a lot, especially when they're kind of loose and stuff. So
it looks like 9 to 5. He's gonna get himself hung out to dry. You can see where some of these guys are a little bit tighter in the corners than what they want to be because they just can't quite hold that bottom line.
You know what though? That's not a terrible move from the 95 though. He was already back there, so try to start peeking your nose up there. If you're at the back of the pack, peek your nose up there. See who comes with you. Yeah.
And sometimes you can get a great run that way too. If you can get offset off that nose, and get some air on that front of that nose and gets a little bit more downforce, you can actually make some great moves being able to go the outside, but you gotta have that help.
And if it comes to the end of these races, you know the people that are, because they're going to probably lose the time too, because I doubt you get the whole pack peeking up there, but you'll know who's going to make the move at the end of the race if you get split up. You know that based on where they are, if you can get a big enough push.
That was a big lag.
Yeah, it was huge. That was definitely, took the 48. He took him way out of shape. He backed off. He's going to drop back. He's going to still hold on to the field, though.
Who ended up losing this pack here? Is that the...
I don't know. I was wondering about that.
I'm trying to figure out who that is back there. You got the 1, got the 43, got the 39. The 9's there. I don't...
No, the 9's up here with the 48.
Yeah, the 9's there. So... The 20... Is the 20 up there?
No, I don't see him. Looks like he might be the odd man out now. Is it a strategy move? I don't know.
Being that far back, definitely not.
I don't think so. I wouldn't think so. These guys have got themselves lined up and they're cruising now. They're just waiting for their time to when they're gonna make who's gonna make the break and who isn't.
Ooh, big lag.
Oh, big wreck!
We got a huge wreck.
Caution.
That has to be caution. That changes everything.
Yeah, that throws the fuel strategy out the window. That throws this tire strategy out the window.
From what we've seen on the stream, the 12 just jumped down in line, and the next thing you know, the whole field was just going crazy. That's just like that's not really. That's just a big checkup. That's just.
Yeah, that was just might as well just
there has to be a point where this 12 and the 2 are trying to work together so much. Like, they have to get to a point in this race that they just have to stop working together. Because two Fords working against a whole field of Chevys and Toyotas, it's not going to work. And I mean, I think you were seeing it, is that everybody else in the field is not working with them at all.
No.
So, the Fords, it's always a debate in real life, too. You have the Chevys, you have the Toyotas. You have the Chevys, the Fords. Who did the Toyotas go with? The Toyotas are going with the Chevys in all race. And in real life, I mean, there's more Fords, so it's easier to go with the Fords in real life for those Toyotas. But in this, there's only 2, so all the Toyotas are going with the Fords, and they just cannot get it working together.
I noticed last night when I got hooked.
Big block from the 2 car again.
Oh, big one.
That's
gonna be. That's definitely gonna be. That's gonna be looked at definitely for sure on my end. But I noticed that with the Toyotas and the Chevys, if you can get the Toyotas lined up with the Chevys, they're fast cars together. They're really they just the airflow is pretty incredible over the 2 body styles.
He's all over the track. From the
I was
bottom
noticing
to the top.
that. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, buddy. I'm watching this kind of stuff right now. There's definitely some little bit of control issue there with that one.
I do believe Boz is going to be able to hang on to the back of this pack.
I hope so.
He's kind of... I think these guys have normal draft. If there was high draft, I think he'd have it. But I believe they're only using normal.
Yeah, it's only normal draft.
Yeah, and he's going to lose the pack. That's
okay. But where these guys have been racing, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Look, there's...
And there's a move.
Track.
The 2 and the 12 by themselves. The 3's actually going to go with them this time. They try to have back down in line between the 53 and 9.
I think those 2 are going to definitely have their hands full now. I think they're kind of stuck on that outside.
That 12 car is slamming the 53.
Yeah, he's doing everything he can to push him forward. That 9, he just popped up out of nowhere. He's trying to give that 1 and that 53, which is teammates there, a big push. And then Jade, we already know the 53 is already locked in, and that 1, if he can pull off a win, he'll be locked in. So that'll be 2 teammates there locked in together. Oh, there's some contact between the 1 and the 12.
That was the 2.
They're going to keep it all. Oh, sorry. It looks like they're going to get themselves collected back up there.
I'd love to see it. I mean, I don't wish cautions, but I'd love to see the 48 car get himself back up in this battle. He's been pretty controlled with his car and his movement, so I would love to see him try to...
He definitely was just in a bad spot in a bad situation. That 2 now, he looks like he might have just got forced up and pushed out of the way. Right now we have the 1,
white flag,
the 39, the
white flag.
There it comes. Let's see what happens. Will the 53 hang behind his teammate and lock him in? Will the 39 make a move on the outside and try to push that outside lineup? But looks the 53, he was peeking. The 39 looks like he's getting a little bit squirrely. The 20, he's making a push along with the 12. The 12 just tried cutting down in front of the 3. That's not going to happen. We're headed for the white flag now, folks.
Checkered.
Checker flag. Thank you, buddy. Oh, checker flag. The 1, the 53, the 39, the 3, the 20. That's
2's gonna get pushed out of line. He's not gonna get anything extra.
He's not gonna get anything now, and this is what it's gonna be. He's gonna
53's just pushing. He's gonna try to get it. And Keith Ayers wins the race. Keith, Jordy, and Keith, J, Jordy. That's your top 3, and then after that, it's just a huge cluster of cars.
Yeah. And that was a smart move by a team owner right there, and I'll throw that right out there now because that 53 is part of that one team, and he did exactly. He knew he was already locked in, so why not? Let's just okay, I can take what I can get. It's a second place. Let's just push my teammate, lock him into the playoffs for the next round, and now we can move on from there. And that's exactly what they did. That was actually great technical.
Shut up.
Great technical, accomplishment there by doing that. All right, folks.
We'll see who got the fastest lap here.
And then we'll start calling let's call the top 3 into the booth. We'll have our interviews, and that was some great, as I said, that was some great final stage racing. We'll definitely have some things that we need to discuss, though.
Fastest lap, Cheesehead, 46.8.
So if you guys want to send the invites to the guys,
they should already be in here. They were all in the chat pre-race, so there's second place. I'm just gonna wait for the 39 of Jared Reese here. There's Steve. What's up, Steve?
Yep.
I'm back.
Did you watch the race?
No.
Oh.
Well, I watched it from Alex's viewpoint.
It was a great.
I did, but I.
It was a good race. It was a good race.
On blue screen stranded.
Yep.
Yep.
So.
Okay. Let's start with 3rd place, Jared Reese. From our view, it was a fun one. What was it like down on the track?
It was fun. I'm really hoping with this new game that you can actually make something work on the high line, because it's just
it looks like it.
You go out if you don't have more cars on the top than the bottom, then you're going sailing to the back, and at the end of the race, nobody's gonna push you to the win.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna push you around on the outside if you're in the lead, because they're still gonna finish second. So everybody just wants to stay to the bottom, so you can't make a move. And I know Cheese was a little upset that I didn't make a move, but it's either finish 3rd or finish dead last and not score any points, and nobody wants that.
Yeah, and I brought that up at a point in the race that the side draft in the next game, it definitely does have a lot more of a factor than it does in this game. So it's going to be exciting to see how that works out when the time comes.
And we did cover that too, where that high side that is, unless you're totally committed, and you have drivers that are totally committed to that and be able to run like that. Like last night, there was a few that were definitely totally committed to that top side, and it did work very well because there was a lot of side-by-side racing. It's tough, that high side, and I'm hoping that I agree. I hope they kind of fix that a little bit where we can actually be able to do some side drafting and be able to run together. Let's not have to worry about losing like 7 positions because of that.
Yeah, if you can get people that are dedicated to actually staying up there, then you can make something work. But just if you don't have enough cars, the run stalls out and you fall back, and then you're almost better to just stay to the bottom line.
Right. Yeah. That makes it kind of. I mean, it also takes the adjustment to, if you don't have your adjustments right, to be able to hold that high line and be able to hold that throttle fully open, but yet be able to give that little bit of room when you're running that high line with somebody, it's very tough to do. And you know, I've seen it work, but I've seen it haven't worked either. So, you know, but great job, buddy. You know, congratulations. You know, you had a lot of ups and downs. We watched you come from the back to the front to the back, either way. But you managed to come out with a great finish and a podium. So congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
Moving on to second place. What happened to going for the win, Jade?
You know, Keith, you know, everybody's going to be mad by that answer that I'm going to give. And
I'm not.
Keith,
I already know what the answer is.
I think we all know. I think we all know the answer. But I'm saying, like, I asked you if you were gonna do that or not, and you said I was gonna go for the win, and you didn't go for the win.
No, he peaked. He peaked a little bit.
I peaked a little bit.
I had to give you a bull. I have to push you up a little bit about that one.
Well, listen, you know, Keith didn't do so well in the stages, and he needed, you know, I wanted to make sure that the two fatal cars make it to the next round.
That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah.
Can try to go battle for a championship here at Homestead. Track him and I are both really good at. And, you know, everyone's going to be mad about the answer. You know, I did peak a little bit, but I decided, you know what, let's be a team player in case I need it at Homestead.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and that's just how Keith and I are. You know, we are two racers cut from the same cloth. And I know if the roles would have been reversed, and it was Wolfpack 1-2, or Berg Penske 1-2, or
Keith behind you,
1-2, everybody else would have done the same exact thing that we did.
I called it from get-go.
And also, the fact of Keith and I had talked about it going into the race. I said, you know, if you're ahead at the end of the race, odds are I'm not going to pull out on you till the triangle. And he said the same thing for me, and I said, listen, buddy, you need it more than I do. I'd like the playoff points, but you need the win to guarantee yourself. So I said, you know, welcome to the round of 8. When that restart came at the end, and I hooked on that one's bumper, and I didn't let go. We were on it, pushed him.
I said it from get-go, buddy. I knew it. I knew what the thing. You were locked in, and you had a teammate in front of you, and I knew that any owner, such as myself, and the mentality that I think of as well, is that if I'm already locked in, there is no reason for me not to take my teammate and put him there with me. There is none, because I'm already there. And there's nothing that's, I mean, you got second place points, so that's even just as good. But it's still the same scenario goes, is that if I'm already locked in, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to take a teammate with me. I never go alone.
Listen, I told Keith, you know, I ran the same setup for the past 2 years at Homestead, and it's won 2 championships. I said, listen, if I don't make it and you make it, I will give you my Homestead setup. But if we both make it, you're not getting it. So,
well, at that point, the cooperation that we talk about goes right out the window.
yes. I used to say with Fatal, our motto was win or die trying, and you know, tonight I didn't live up to my own motto, but
I think I live up to that motto the most. But
you did as an owner. How's that?
I did as an owner. I got my driver to victory lane. We get to celebrate together in Talladega. It's just a great feeling for the team to get back at it again.
It's good momentum.
Fatal sweeping the round. I can feel it. We're coming to Pocono, you know, my home track, Jarrett Reese's home track. So hopefully, you know, the Home State Heroes can win, and it'd be nice.
Very much so, buddy. Great job tonight, man. I mean, that's taking, you know, it's not taking one for the team, but knowing that being in the position of being an owner, such as myself, knowing that, you know, being in the position you were in, you won last week. Great job with that. And, you know, why not give someone else another opportunity that's on my team to pull off a win when I know that I'm already there? You know, I mean, I'm already in there. It doesn't matter. I'm there. Why not bring someone else with you? It doesn't hurt nothing. It doesn't change nothing. The fact is that you're still going to battle it out anyways in 3 more races for the round of 8. You know what I mean? You might as well just bring it all. So, at that point, now we'll go to our first place winner.
Keith Ayers.
Go ahead, buddy.
He isn't. He has no
So
words.
he's like he doesn't even know what to say at this point. He's kind of like tongue tied.
Just say thank you.
I owe my teammate everything for that what just happened. So
Okay, buddy. Go drink a beer and cry in pit lane.
Yep, that dude, shake that thing up, squirt it all.
Because you're
over
going to
house,
the
make
round of
wife
8.
Mad, and yeah, that's right, buddy.
Oh God, one step closer to a championship.
Hey, it's not an easy task, buddy, with the
Gotta-
class of field that we
Gotta
race
drink
against.
a beer. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Find me again.
Last season, if not for my penalty alone, I think I would have been in the Final Four.
Well,
Now you get another chance to prove that.
This time around, I get to redeem myself.
There you go, buddy. That's exactly what you do. You
still got one more race this round, so
Yep.
gotta worry about that first. Gotta keep the momentum up, but
Yeah,
after
just
that,
try to-
you got another
try
3
to
to
keep
worry
the
about before
momentum
that
up,
final
and
race.
Those tickets right between the round of 8.
So, but yeah, no, I mean, great job, buddy. You stuck it out. You knew what you needed to do, and that was a win to secure your spot.
Yeah.
You had some help.
give
Nothing
us-
at Talladega. We all need help at Talladega. We all know that. You know, and it takes more than just one person to win this one here or Daytona. Either way, it takes more than just one, and that's what you had. And it was a great accomplishment. Great job, buddy.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It means a lot. And I know when I'm racing with Jade or Jardy, I know I'm in good hands. So, yeah, it feels good knowing that I won. And I can just go to Pocono and won't have to worry about anything.
There you go. Just to make sure you get yourself above that cut line and then get some extra points just to secure a little bit of extra cushion, and that's what it is.
I think I gave myself a heck of a cushion, so I won't have to worry about elimination.
Well, you're locked in, so I don't think you have to worry about that until the next round.
Yeah, I'm locked in. I just got to try to get points for the round of 8 so I can at least have a shot at the championship for the Final Four.
There you go.
Well,
so folks, that was great. I mean, we have our top 3. They did a great job. Great work by Jade and number 1. Yeah. Sorry, buddy. I'm still trying to get used to everybody's name.
It's okay.
Great job, you guys.
You can just call me Keith. It's okay.
Okay, Kate. And you guys did a great job. You worked together. That's what That's what this is about. Sometimes, especially when it comes to races like this, you guys did a killer job. Made it work. Come away with a 1-2. Jardy, he came away with a 3rd. I mean, that's impressive. It's not easy done here. But Steve, so what do you think, buddy?
Good racing.
It was great it was great all the way around. Unfortunately, the 48 he kind of got himself in the mix up a little bit. But I mean, in general,
yeah,
it was great. It was great stuff. I mean, I can't it was great calling this race. Acceptness, thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate your hard work here in the booth since I've been away. Also having our guest. Jacob Van Evie, great having him with us. So at this point, folks, what else you got, Jade?
Well, that's my job. For Steve Rogers and the Rogers Racing Engine Cup Series, we're signing off, and we will see you guys next week at Pocono, the Tricky Triangle.